Imagine walking into a hospital with a limp, expecting a quick fix, only to hear the impossible: your brain gone, not damaged, not small, missing. Yet you're alive, working, raising kids, living like nothing's wrong. This is the story of a Frenchman who shocked the world, defying science itself. Welcome to The Man Who Lived Without a Brain for Real. It's a tale so wild it'll explode your mind. Stick around because this one's unreal. Before we unravel this medical miracle, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell because this story's about to rewire how you see the brain. Let's dive in. It's 2007, Marseille, France. A 44-year-old civil servant walks into a hospital with a slight weakness in his left leg. He's married, has 2 kids, lives a quiet life. Doctors order a CT scan expecting something routine. What they find? His skull is mostly liquid. 90% of his brain is gone, replaced by cerebrospinal fluid. This isn't science fiction, it's real. This guy had hydrocephalus, water on the brain, since infancy. Fluid built up over decades, slowly crushing his brain into a thin rim. Yet he was functioning, talking, working, raising a family. Doctors were floored. How do you live without a brain? It's like running a computer with no hard drive. Think about his wife, his kids hearing this. Your husband, your dad has barely any brain. But he's here, loving you, living with you. It's a story of survival that hits deep. A testament to the human spirit, defying all odds. A 2017 analysis of the case in Frontiers in Neuroscience noted his brain's ventricles, fluid chambers, expanded so slowly his neurons rewired over decades. His IQ was 75, below average, but he wasn't disabled. He was a functioning dad. To understand this miracle, let's talk hydrocephalus. It's when cerebrospinal fluid, which cushions your brain, builds up, crushing tissue. This man had it since he was 6 months old. Doctors inserted a shunt, a tube to drain fluid, but it failed over time, letting fluid take over. By age 14, he had ataxia, trouble walking and leg paralysis. A shunt revision fixed it and he went on like nothing happened. For 30 years, no one knew his brain was disappearing. It's like a slow-motion disaster you don't notice until it's too late. A 2019 Journal of Neurosurgery study found chronic hydrocephalus can thin the cortex to under 2 millimeters in extreme cases like this one. His frontal, parietal, temporal, and occipital lobes, key for memory, movement, emotions, were squashed. Yet he functioned. Imagine being his parents, trusting the shunt saved him, not knowing it wasn't enough. His survival isn't just medical, it's a family's quiet triumph, carrying love through the unknown. That's the kind of strength we all root for. But how did his brain pull this off? The answer's in a superpower called plasticity, and it's wild. Stay with me. Here's the magic: neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to adapt. This man's brain didn't just survive, it rewrote itself. With 90% gone, his remaining neurons took on multiple roles, like a skeleton crew running a massive ship. His cortex was a thin strip, but it handled speech, memory, even emotions. How? Over decades, his brain learned to compress functions into less space. It's like shrinking a city into a village and still keeping it running. A 2020 Nature Reviews Neuroscience study showed chronic hydrocephalus patients can retain function if damage is gradual. In rats with similar conditions, neurons in the brainstem and cerebellum compensated for lost cortex, handling basic survival tasks. This isn't just science, it's hope. His brain fought to keep him whole for his kids, his wife. It's a story of resilience that makes you believe in the impossible, because we're all wired to adapt. But what about consciousness? How was he aware with so little brain? The answer might shatter everything we know. Now we hit the big question: consciousness. Scientists thought it lived in specific brain regions like the claustrum or cortex, but this man with those areas nearly gone was aware, social, alive. How? Enter Axel Cleeremans, a psychologist who called this a medical miracle. In 2016, Cleeremans spoke at a consciousness conference in Buenos Aires using this case to pitch his radical plasticity thesis. He argued consciousness isn't tied to one's thought. It's the brain learning to describe itself. This man's brain adapted so well it stayed aware with barely any tissue. A 2018 Frontiers in Psychology paper by Cleeremans noted his verbal IQ, which was 84, was higher than his performance IQ, which was 70, suggesting his remaining cortex prioritized language and social skills over spatial tasks. His brain chose what mattered most for survival. This man wasn't just conscious, he was a dad, a husband, a human with dreams. His awareness against all odds is a love letter to life itself. It's the kind of story that makes you rethink what makes us. But was he the only one? Other cases push the limits even further, and they're mind-boggling. Keep watching. So this French man isn't alone. A 2019 Nature study described rat R222, who actually lived for 2 years with extreme hydrocephalus. Its cortex was just a ribbon, yet it could see, smell, and move like any normal rat. And then there's a 24-year-old Chinese woman discovered in 2014 who was living without a cerebellum, which is, by the way, the balance center of the brain. The rat's brainstem and cerebellum just took over, handling memory and senses. The woman, she walked, she worked, she just had some nausea and vertigo. Her brain basically rewired itself to compensate. These cases, honestly, they scream one thing: the brain's adaptability is absolutely insane. A 2021 Neuroscience letter study on cerebellogenesis found her cortex actually grew extra connections to the brainstem, mimicking the roles of the cerebellum. Her IQ was totally normal, proving the brain can rebuild itself if you give it enough time. These stories aren't just weird, they're honestly inspiring. A rat, a woman, a man, all defying biology to live fully. It's a reminder that life finds a way no matter how broken the pieces. But what does this mean for us? The future of brain science is wild, and it's coming fast. This man's case honestly flipped neuroscience on its head. If 90% of a brain can vanish and life goes on, what's actually possible? Researchers are now exploring brain-computer interfaces, neuroplasticity drugs, even AI to boost brain repair. A 2023 Nature Communication study tested a protein that boosts neuron growth in hydrocephalic mice, restoring memory. Human trials are next. Just imagine a world where brain damage isn't the end, it's a new beginning. A 2022 Journal of Neuroengineering trial used brain implants to restore speech in a stroke patient, even though they had minimal cortex left. It's still early, but it totally echoes this man's case. Small brain, big potential. Every breakthrough is a win for people fighting brain injuries and for families praying for recovery. It's science with heart, building a future where no one's left behind. But is this a miracle? Or maybe a warning? The final twist might actually shock you. This man's survival is a miracle, but honestly it's also a huge wake-up call. His brain adapted because the damage was slow. Sudden loss, you're gone. It really shows how resilient yet fragile we are, and with AI and brain tech rising, we're at a crossroads. A 2024 neuroethics paper warned that pushing neuroplasticity with tech could actually overstress our brains, especially in kids. We're not invincible. This man's case begs us to protect our minds, like less screen time, more connection. A 2023 brain study found that chronic stress actually mimics hydrocephalus's effects, thinning the cortex in teens. His case isn't just medical, it's a mirror to our overloaded lives. This story isn't about a freak case, it's about us. We're all adapting, surviving, fighting for meaning. His life proves we're stronger than we know, but we've got to care for what makes us human. That's the man who lived without a brain, for real. It's a story of survival that honestly rewrites what's possible. This French dad showed us the brain's magic, and it's up to us to keep that spark alive. So what's the wildest brain fact you've ever heard? Drop it in the comments. If this blew your mind, smash that like button, share it with your crew, and subscribe for more epic tales.